something about this chapter that is most important for, I think, that what is there in this subject, that is AIT. Now, is this screen visible to everybody now? Yes, visible to everybody. Now,
Yes,
see
sir.
in this, yeah, okay, already it has been divided into serial number. That is the number, name of the chapter, the serial number of the chapter, the topics that technologies we will be covering into this chapter, the weightage in percentage, and next one, last one, that is number of sessions. Though we need to cover into this. Now, as far as this chapter subject is concerned, as we call it as advanced internet technology. So basically, we will be moving towards technologies that will be used for the developing the front end of your application. Just like whatever you see on a screen as a website, the front page which has been designed using the technologies that are being there in a market, out of which some 4 or 5 things are being added into your syllabus. Chapter number 1 is introduction, and the weightage is 10 marks. I think so. Out of 50, 10 marks means 5 marks will be allocated to your HTML5, and where I need to cover only this part into a 5 chapters, 5 lectures only. So it is highly difficult for me to complete the syllabus of this chapter into 5. We may take a 10 sessions more may be required for this, because we need to go into detail about what is exactly the meaning of these words are there in this HTML5. Now, in chapter number 2, we will be moving towards CSS. And whenever we implement this CSS, then only it is possible for us to create a very wonderful application. So we'll have a more emphasis on this CSS, because in CSS we need to know different properties which are available in market. Okay. So CSS 3 is there in your syllabus, and that again will be for 5 marks, and weightage will be again 5 sessions need to be covered. So we may take a more time for completing this chapter also. Third one will be a Node.js, though it is an introduction, but apart from that, we will be moving into more detail about the Node.js, and for which we need to install a MySQL and something what we call as your Apache server also for that purpose. The weightage is 12%. The 12 lectures need to be conducted, and see the weightage is 25%. So out of 50 marks, 25% of weightage will be given to the Node.js. And here it is not AngularJS, it is just an Angular we need to go. Recent version we will be implementing. And we will be going into deeper some 9 basic major important things. And again, the weightage will be 25% of weightage. Allocated time will be a 12 lectures as far as the syllabus is concerned. And finally, we'll be moving to the dynamic, that is server-side scripting. So that is nothing but your PHP. Again, the weightage will be for 30 marks out of 50. 15 marks question will be on this, what you call as a PHP. 10 to 15 marks question will be on Node.js and AngularJS. And I think so, looking at this scenario, it is basically your question paper might be in option based only. So you need to be prepared very systematically for your university examination, where it will be a choice based. So you will be just like this semester, what you have done is that no theory papers were there, same thing will happen. But apart from that, I want to discuss second thing about this chapter, that is on page number 59 of your syllabus, that is a practical. So practical, that is 21LL, and into which 75 marks are being allocated for practical, that is a internal, and your external will be for 50 marks, just like this semester. Overall 125 marks, and you will see there are 2 labs been added into one subject. So we will be doing a Python programming and advanced internet programming. Both programming will be added into one subject, called the name of the subject is IT21L. So basically 10 hours a week is expected from you to spend on this programming. Now, ready-made list has been given for this subject. We'll be going for this 16 basic, what do you call as key areas where people are expecting that you should be prepared. So so as far as this chapter is concerned, that is my first chapter. So basically it has been divided, the 3 basic things that you need to understand as far as chapter number 1 is concerned. First one is that you have to write a program to implement audio video features in your web pages. So whatever web pages you will be creating and developing, that need to be implementing audios and videos. So we have already not covered this one. So upcoming lectures will be there where we'll be adding audios and videos into your website. Second thing is that programming to design using HTML elements. So different types of elements which are there, form designing will be there based on that. Attributes and semantics will be used for the purpose of implementing. So we will be using this in your real life. So there will be ample number of examples for you to get demonstrated and use this one. And third one, that these people are expecting that you are right to program for using Canvas and SVG. So Canvas and SVG in this week itself, we'll be starting with the Canvas itself. So Canvas and SVG applications are also required. So first three basic domains are expected from you in this chapter. Apart from this, then after that, we'll be moving to the CSS. So what is there in CSS, we'll be talking later. So currently, I want to just show you the syllabus. And one thing, you are at home, you spend your time in, yes, I want to say this one, yes. So these are ready-made mock courses available on the syllabus copy. Page number 53 page number is there. On a 53 page number, you'll find your Coursera. These are the e-learning platforms where you can learn much beyond what is being discussed in the classroom. So we are having just a 1 hour to spend as far as theory is concerned, but you can spend your more time for knowing HTML or web development or CSS and JavaScript, what is actually going on. So there are different links being provided. You can use this into this. There is MongoDB, or your Bootstrap 4th is also considered Angular, and everything is there. Now this you need to understand very importantly. And second most important thing, that there are websites. This is the course material which is already available for you for runtime. If you want to know something, rather than searching for any book, you can visit this web links, that is W3 Schools or your HTML doc, where you can get your details of the different elements or different tags which are available. So these websites are there as far as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. For these different three technologies, you can use this portal websites. And for Bootstrap, you want to learn Bootstrap in more detail, you can move towards these websites, which is also available over there. If you want to go Node.js in more detail, again, there is a website available there. So for Angular also, and for PHP also. So you see everything is possible there in your syllabus. And if you want to go for certification, different certification, so what all certifications are available, the details are being provided here with the Microsoft HTML and CSS3. So already it is there in your syllabus. The intention is that you need to spend your time for reading your syllabus, because that is most important, that what is there in your syllabus you should know very efficiently. Now we'll again move to the chapter number 1. Now up till now, I think we have covered with introduction, the features also. We have also out of 18 or 13 especially, we have already covered some 4 in your last session about semantics in HTML5. Now we'll move toward this remaining part. So generally, as we have discussed in the previous session, we have already discussed that a semantic, that is a structure element in HTML, is divided into 3 major element parts. These 2 are not there, as we are not using Arabic language or Chinese language. So these 2 are not with us, but we can implement these 13 different generic semantics, which are available all over the world, and it has been used by all developers. So we should be very much familiar with these 13 semantics. And we have already discussed some 4 into the previous session. Now today's lecture here, we will be continuing this one. That is, we have already covered a section, we have already covered article, a header, a footer. Now we'll be talking about the HG group. Okay. Now what is this HG group? Can anyone say? I think everyone knows this tag. That is a H1 tag. Yes? Yes, everyone knows this tag? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have already covered here. Yes, we have already covered this into some lecture, I think so. Okay. So H1 tag is there. Then how much is the series here? Anyone knows? H2 is there.
H6. H7.
Okay. H7 is there.
No, sir. H6 only.
Okay. H3 is there. H1, H2, H3. H4 is there. H5 is there. And last one is H6. And whatsoever you write over here. So if I'm saying hello, if I'm writing hello over here, and it is again a double-ended tag. It is again a double-ended tag. I need to close this H2. And the last one is H6. I think that these are the only tags which are available. I'm copying this one and I'm putting over this into this part. So I want to give a comment to this part. How can I give a comment in HTML? Anyone knows? Yes. I don't want to delete this one. I just want to put a comment over there. So how? Because any programming language or any technology, whenever you're dealing, you should know the comments, how the comments are given. So you can use like this, a not sign, two minus signs, and you close over here, again two minus sign and close this one. So this is one technique. Second one technique is that you can write a comment tag, comment, comment tag, and you close this comment tag slash comment. So comment. So this is one more thing. So you can put like this also, and you can put like this also. Okay, so previous one. So I'll go for running this one on a Chrome. Now see, the comment is not working. Comment is not working. Yes, I want to show you. And if I go for writing like this, and I save this one, and when I run this on a Chrome, you see, this is showing me the more the number, the higher is the font size. This is called as an, what we call it as? Header tag. We call it as header in HTML. Now here we don't say it's an header. In HTML5, it is never ever being called as a header because we know that here there is a separate tag. Here in this semantic, there is a separate header. And what about this H group then? The header and this H1. This H1. H1 is not a header. Anyone remember the name which I have given you over there? Yes. These are called as block. These are called as block level elements. Don't say it as an what? Header tag. We call it as block level elements and we call it as H1 tag, H2 tag, H3 tag. So are you clear with this block level elements? Yes. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We call it as block level elements. And block level elements are always H1, H2, H3 up till H6. And it need to be started. It is double-ended tag. So start should be there and end should be there as far as semantic is concerned about H1. Now this is actually present in your HTML4 up till HTML4. Now in HTML5, these people have added new thing into your syllabus. New thing, a new name came into existence that is called as a H group. It's called as an H group. Now what is this H group? H group is nothing but you have to write. Now these are the tags which need to be written whenever we are writing this example. So I am going for the same example. And if I want to demonstrate this one, this is a block level element of H4 into H group What I have to do is that you have to put everything into a tag called as H group. It need to be started and it need to be closed. Just like previous example, what we have gone through, H group is nothing but a accumulation of different block level elements. Now, why? For what purpose we are using this? Because this is used for the purpose of GUI representation. Now I am running this one on a browser, refreshing. The output is not. The output will never change. The output will remain as it is. But as far as semantic is concerned, whenever we are writing H1 or H2 or any block level element, it should be written into your HG block. This is what the semantic specifies. Is it clear to everybody? The output will never change. There is no effect on output. But as far as semantic is concerned about HTML5, whenever you are using the block level element, it is expected that you should write the block level elements within the HG group. Okay, the output will never change. The output which was there in HTML4, the same output, it will be displayed on HTML5 itself. But there is no issue about the output. But thing is that we need to follow some semantic whenever we are working with HTML5. And this is one of the semantic that the block level elements should be written within a HG group. Okay, H group. So HG means, what is it? H group, that is header groups are being integrated with one another. Are you clear with this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now we'll move to the another program, another element, that is aside. I think this is clear with you. HG group. Now aside is an example where we'll go for first one now. Now as far as this HG group is concerned, we need to start with H group, and syntax will always remain. This is like this syntax. So I'm removing this part. And whenever you are writing this, it should be containing only H elements only. So it might be H1, or it might be an H2, or it might be an H3, or H4, or H5, or H6. And second, the most important thing that is that you need to close this H group. Okay, so here I have written this. I need to close this one. So H. And I need to close this by saying slash H group. Now this is a syntax as far as H group is concerned. So this is a number called as fifth number we are doing. And as far as the attribute is concerned, there is no attribute. There is no attribute to H group. This you need to understand. Now sixth element that is important as far as designing is concerned. So the most important tag that is used for the purpose of designing nowadays, that is your aside. This is aside. This is aside. Now what I will do, I will go for example of aside. Now this is again a double-ended tag. Whatever you want to do, you want to represent anything on a what you call as a website, you use this aside group. You write anything into this and you close this tag. This is what the semantic of this aside says. Now whenever you are writing something, most important thing is that it will never change. We'll go for example of this soon, immediately. But thing is that whenever you are writing something into aside, the no effect will be there. But you can give an effect with taking the help of CSS. So you have to provide a style sheet with whenever you are working with aside group. So there are different, whenever you are working with it, it is always preferred to use style sheets. Style sheet. So style is most important whenever you are working with aside. And as far as the attributes are concerned, there is no attribute specifically created for this aside. Now we'll move for an example of this aside. Here I think we have already. Now what I have done is that I have written something like this into a P tag, the body tag, and something. So just I will go for running this one, and we'll move for the updating the same code and for the purpose of representing. Now see, in this example, what we have shown is that we have written some paragraph, but in the right hand side, we want to put something aside. So here it is right aligned. You may move to the left alignment. You can move at the center alignment also. So basically, when a website is created, you are writing a small set of code, or you need to highlight those things. In those situations, you are using aside. Now we'll move for the example over here. You see, here the style sheets has been written, and it needs to be implemented for the tag called as an aside. Now here I have put it everything. The float is on right. So if I say left, So whichever thing I am writing it, it will be displayed on left hand side. So see, it is on right hand side. I am refreshing it. It is on going on the left hand side. So we'll go for writing this aside again. So I'm creating a new and just limited things I need to copy. The HTML and style. That's it. No need of style also. So, okay. So we'll copy the skeleton of HTML. And what is skeleton? It is head is there. Then we'll go for body and all those things. Okay. So this one. So I don't want this part, so I'm removing this one. Okay. So I think this is clear to everybody that this is a doc type document element, and we have written something into head. That is head. You want to say this is an example of aside. So I want to show that whenever you are writing something over here into head part, whenever you are writing something into head part, what happens? I'm saving this file. I will be saving this file with somewhere in a system with HTML5, and I will say it as aside example dot html. Okay, and I am saving this file. And when I run this program, see this, I have just written something into head part. So whatever thing you are writing in the head part, and I am giving it a title. I think everyone knows the title tag. So title is the thing that will never be displayed on the document. So ये screen के ऊपर हमें कहाँ पर दिखाया जाता है, ये हमें देखना बहुत जरूरी. So I'm running this one, I'm saving this file, I'm running this program on my Chrome. And when we run on this Chrome, the name which I have given is what? Is example of aside. See this. What is it? Example of aside. And what I have written? Same thing. Same thing here I have written. That is example of aside. See this. And the same name has been displayed here at the top left hand side. See this. So whatever you write in a title, it is always displayed at the tab level. At the tab level. So this I need to explain. Now, what I do is that I am writing something in H group. So I'll go for H1 tag over here, H3 tag, I think so. And we'll write it as aside example. And into this, now this is /H3. I'm closing this tag and I'm moving here. In this example, I have written something in the P tag. So just I need to write something. So there is no need for P tag over here. So we'll directly start with aside. Okay. And into this aside, see here, in the previous example, what I've written, I have written something into aside. And then after that, I have closed this one. Okay. So if you want, you can write directly into this, or there is no need for writing a paragraph also. Choice is yours. So if I want to say that this is example of aside, or we'll say that aside, we'll read some content from some chapter, one thing. So one second. I want ready-made paragraphs, so that's why I'm waiting. So ready-made text I will be taking from my document, and then it will be on same parameter will be going for designing this. One second. The purpose of aside is very simple. It is only for the purpose of representation of your data on your screen. So I think it is not there. I'll go for some chapter. Okay. So some theory is there with me. So here I want to explain DevOps. Okay. So I want to explain some DevOps. So I am writing here DevOps. So okay. And I need to close this aside. Okay. And then I am writing some paragraph over here. Some theory I want to write into this one. So what is exactly the DevOps is? So I am copying this first paragraph. So this is my first paragraph. So I am putting over here. Okay. So I pasted the text content over there. And second paragraph, I want to write something over here. So p tag, and I'm copying this from my, this is another browser opening. Okay. So I'm copying this. One second. The system is getting slow. Okay. Now this is my second paragraph I want to copy, and I am pasting over here into my second paragraph. So I'm closing this one also. So slash p. Okay. This is my second paragraph. Now what I do is that I will save this one and I will run this one and get an output, how it will look, because I have written DevOps definition and explanation. Okay. So I have written into a side tag and some paragraph I have written. This is my first paragraph and this is my second paragraph. And now I am moving towards running this on a Chrome. And you see the output. There is no change in output. There is no change in output. This is only a side example which I have written in H1. So now this, okay, DevOps definition. Now I need to give some highlighting it. So I will be using a style. That's what I have said, that style. I want to specify some styles for that also. So I will give some background color over there. So for that purpose, anyone knows the attribute of background color? It is background color colon gray. Okay. I need to write my style sheet within my single quote, or you can use a double quote also, no problem. Okay. So this is my first property. Now I want to give a second property also. So semicolon color, that is font color I want to use. So colon, a color I want to give it as an red color. So whatever I have written, I need to put in red color. Now, third thing is that I want to display it on a left-hand side. Left-hand side, for that purpose, the property is float. Float colon left, left, left. So everything that is written in a side will be left aligned. Now I want to give some block values. So I want to create a block of some size. So width colon 20 pixel px and score semicolon height HEIGST height. I want to give it to that. So there is no need of height because width is more than enough. So I want to give some font family. So font family colon. So I want to use an Arial color, Arial font. As I'm putting a semicolon over there, I'm copying it, saving it, and now I am executing this one. Just I'm refreshing the thing. Now see here there is overlapping of text content. Here there is overlapping of text content. Now, what is the overlapping? So width, I think everything width I have given some 20 pixels, so I put it in 120 pixels. Just I refresh it. So see, it is occupying. So I think red color is more dark. So we'll go for some other color, suppose cyan color. Okay. We'll go for light gray. So LIGST, light gray. So this color is, it's okay. Color. Oh, black. Font family Arial. I will go for any font family. Just go here, and there are different font families. I'm copying this, the name, and I'm putting over here. Okay, no problem. So see, the presentation will be moving like this. So this is a side. Now this is located on left hand side. I want to locate it on the right hand side. So what I have to do is that just change the property. The content will be changed. So here I am saying float left. So I am saying float right, RIGST. And I want to increase the length also. So I can go for 200 also, no problem. So 200 pixels, that's it. And I'm refreshing. So automatically whatever content you want to display, that will be moving towards the right hand side automatically. So this is actually the meaning of a side. Is it clear to everybody? But if I don't write anything into this, nothing will happen with it. Nothing will happen with it. Now, this is called as an inline style sheet. What is it? What is it? Yes. 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 What is if I'm writing like this, a style equal to single quote into this the name of a property, the value bifurcated with delimiter called as a semicolon. This means that this is one of the property. Then second property is like this. Is it you know this how to write a C inline style sheets? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rest. Pizza knows. Rest student. They know or don't know.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shreya, Siddhi, Vidya, Shabnam, आपको आते क्या? Now this is one way. Now I'm copying the same code. I am changing it. This is called as an inline style sheet. What is this called as? Inline style sheet. And see this, whenever I am writing something, it should be written for the aside. If there is nothing, if you don't write anything into what we call a style sheet to aside, it will never ever display the whatever you are expecting. So I'm copying this one and I'm creating another file, same file, new file I'm creating, and I'm saving this with aside2.html, and I'm saving it on the same location, but I don't want this style sheet. So I'm copying it, all style sheet. I don't want over here. So now, this is the previous example, just like the previous example, it is the same example, but when I run this, I am getting a different output. See this. It's very simple output. The previously, the example was showing output like this. That is, the content was moving towards the right hand side, and now the content is no more representing anything because there is no style sheet been allocated. And this is the only reason whenever you are implementing aside, you should be very much familiar with the style sheets. Now, in the previous example, what we have done, we have written this style sheet. The technique of writing a style sheet in a single line or in front of the element name with a keyword called as style is called as an inline style sheet. Okay, I think everyone knows. Now, second technique I want to share with you, that is I want to write the same thing, but I need to use something. So for that purpose, you can use style. So style tag is for the purpose of writing style sheet. So whatever style sheet you want to use here. So style. Okay. Now, to whom I want to use, I want to give this style sheet to aside tag. Okay. So I will be using like this, aside. Now, whatever thing I want to assign, I need to write this into this curly braces. Now I'm copied something. I am copying this one. So I want this first property. So I am copying this name. So just all properties will be copied over here. And I'm pasting over here. And see, whenever I'm pasting, it should be like this. The first property, the second property, the third property, the fourth property, the fifth property. Here I will change some text font, the text. So I will copy some different text over here like this. So I am copying this name. Okay. And I am putting over here. So if I want to go for these properties, whatever we are writing here, this special chapter is allocated for writing this style sheet. Just for the purpose of example, I am using this. But especially in chapter number 2, we will be going into detail about different font properties and everything. Because in a syllabus, you just read it. We will be talking about different CSS modules, the framework, the selectors, the pseudo classes, the font and text effect, the color and background images and masking effects. All things will be covered over here into this. So what all transaction and transformation animation properties are available, all will be discussed in the coming lectures. But still, at that time, we can talk about this. So I will give this as an orange color. So whatever color you want to give an orange color, I want to give a font color as what we call as red color. I want to increase the size of font size. So if you are using editor, it will be very simple. So I'm saying 24 pixels. So that's it, semicolon. And there are different properties, and just I will go for running this one. So run and on Chrome, because Chrome supports maximum properties. Now see, it is on the right hand side, DevOps definition and example. Is it clear to everybody? Yes. I can use height also. Height 100 pixels. Choice is yours. So the width and height properties can be used to demonstrate something like this. Don't want to use red color. I can use green color also. Refresh it. Color can be there. So are you clear with this? What we have done? We have just used the name of tag and you have curly braces. And into this curly braces, we have added different set of properties. These properties will be discussed in the upcoming lectures. See this, the font is not supported. So it is like this. We may go for another set of fonts because it means all fonts are not supported on your browser. So some fonts are available, some fonts are not available. So I want to use some like this. Let us see whether it is implementing or not. So changing the name of a font. Okay. See, the font family is changed, the text content will be changed. So everything is done with this style sheet. So are you clear with this aside? Yes. How this aside will be helping you to display the content on the left hand side or right hand side. And most important thing is that you need to use the float. This is one of the property for floating your text content towards left or towards the right. Is it clear to everybody now? What is aside?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall we move further then? Yes. Shall we move further? हाँ या नहीं बोलो ऋषिकेश अभिजीत
Yes, sir.
okay
Yes, sir.
now next one now we have completed the R side now I think this is H is been completed today R side is completed yes now we'll talk about now command is nothing that much important now we'll talk about the details and summary so now these are the two tags which are most important for us so next one command there are no you could write anything in the command nothing effect will be there you can use anywhere command so I'm moving towards the eighth one that is your summary now this tag to both the things you have to use both equally so one is details it is details DETAILS so see the name is this details and is double-ended tag so details and second ninth one is nothing but a summary SUMM summary 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 it is again a double-ended tag now what this tag says we'll go into detail now what is summary now summary is exactly used in a Chrome because this is the only one browser that is supporting the summary now it is used to create an interactive widget it is used to create interactive WIDGET widget that are that user can open and close now what is it we'll go into detail because there are a lot many examples we need to cover whenever we are moving toward this one detail okay open and close now see I'm writing something and you have to maintain the content see this the content in detail tag content in detail tag that is details element should not be visible unless the open attribute is set okay unless the open attribute is set so now what is this open attribute because you know as far as syntax is concerned this is the syntax and as far as the attributes is concerned previously we don't have any attributes now this is the only thing that is you have to keep in mind there is one attribute for your summary and the name of attribute is nothing but open Now, how to use this one? That will be moving into one example, and where we'll be implementing this one. Okay. So see, there is one attribute for the element called as a details. The name of the attribute is nothing but an open. So this need to be used. And sing, I have written something that is used for interactive. So whenever you are using this one, it is interactive. When you click, some operations will be happening over here on your browser. So for that purpose, you are using it. So something will be hidden, something will be shown whenever you are using this details tag. And now whenever you are using, you need to use it is visible. If you want to make it visible, you have to write something in the element, some attribute. The name of the attribute is open. You have to pass some values, then only it will be working for you. Now whenever you are using this detail, this will be working with the help of summary. So summary is again one of the most important element, because the both will be working together for displaying something. So now what exactly the summary? It is used for the defining. It define a visible. It define a visible header for the details. So whatever details you are putting, it will be a header for you, and the header can be clicked. This header can be clicked, and view can be hide also, can be hidden also from the details. So only Chrome is supporting this one. So we'll be moving for the example for details over here. So I'm copying the skeleton. One example we have done here aside. Now what I'll do is that I will remove this style. I'm writing this example of details and summary. Okay. Now it is details and summary example. So I remove this remaining part and we'll go for writing something about this one. Now, whenever you are writing, the first tag you have to use over here is details. And I am writing, just like in previous example, I've said there is one attribute, that is open attribute. That is open attribute. And I am passing a value code as in double quote, that is open. And into this, I am writing one more element that is called as a summary. Summary. And I will be saying that programming, or we'll go for chapters in AIT subject. So I think everyone knows the name of a chapters. So I'm closing this one. So summary. So it is SUMMARY. So it should be summary. Summary. Okay. So then only it will be looking in a blue color. So make a habit of checking the name of the tag. So now in this summary, I will be writing something like this. So I have not closed the detail tag. See, it is open, but it is not closed. So I need to close this tag. So slash details. And I want to display something. So I will be using a list tag over here. I think everyone knows the list tag. So list tag, and into list tag, I will be putting something into a paragraph. So I need to close this p tag, and I need to close this list tag also. So everything will be listed over here. Okay. So I'm copying. So there are 5 chapters. So I'm copying it and pasting it 5 times, 3, 4, and 5. Now, first chapter is your HTML5. Second chapter name I have written into this. So I'm cutting it, Control X, and I need to put it into P tag, that is paragraph tag. Then second one is CSS3. Third one is Node JS. Fourth one is Angular. And last one is your PHP. So this is the whole chapters which are available. I'm copying this, I'm saving this, and I will be running this program. So see, when I click like this, let it is P. I think there is no need for writing P tag over there. So you can use ordered list or unordered list. whatsoever you want to use, you can use it. I'm saving it. I'm refreshing it. So it's open. And when I don't write anything over here, I don't write anything into details and just I refresh it, it is hidden in front of the user. So when I click over here, the details will be available. Okay. So by default, open is not working. But when you want to make everything visible as soon as the user get connected, so this is if I am refreshing it, so it will be like this one in front of me. And when I click on this triangle or on this text content, wherever I click, wherever in this range, wherever I click, so it will be hiding and unhiding the data which is written over there. So you see these 5 technologies are already written over there, and these 5 technologies are displayed. And the name of this, so the thing is that here, chapter in AIT. Now this name I have written over here. Okay. So the thing you have written into summary will be displayed as an header for your details. Will be displayed as an header for your details. So whatever you write into summary, it will be visible directly. And whatever you have written into the list tag, if it is list, this is list tag. You want to use an order list, you can use an order list also. So type can be written anything. So I want to use a type is equal to, I'm saying A. I'm putting into symbol code A, colon, and we'll go for this one. So see, A is written. I'm saying all order list. Let's check whether order list is working or not. So OL order list. I'm copying this part and I'm pasting over here. Let us see the output. So see the ABCD is working. ABCDE is displayed on a screen. This P I need to remove, okay, because there is space been allocated over it. Okay. See ABCD is there. If I'm changing the list as Roman, it can be displayed with Roman. If I want to make it some unordered list, I am changing this UL order list to unordered list. I think we have gone through this example, and into this type is equal to, I will say circle. So that's it. Now see the output. Circles will be displayed on. Is it clear to everybody how we are using this details and summary? Yes. Yes. Details is only the what we call as a double-ended tag into which the summary will be worked. It is only for the purpose of displaying something in a format. And this details can be set to open is equal to double quote open. What will happen is that by default, it will be as like this. It will be open. The list, that is summary, which is present over there in the list format, will be displayed directly. And if you want to hide it, you just click it. That's it. So whenever you are saying open is equal to open, it means whatever you are getting, all the contents will be made visible as soon as the page is being loaded on your browser. Is it clear to everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. सबको समझ में आया? List. The thing you have written in over here, this is a summary, and this you have written, it is a part of a summary. Okay. So summary need to be there. If you don't write summary like this, if you don't want to use this one, see this, it is not, it is being cut. I'm saving it and I'm moving over here. I'm saying refresh. Only see the details word will be displayed in front of you. Details word. Okay. Details word. If you want to say something, see whether it is visible or not. No, it is visible on the next line. So whenever you are writing like this, it is not expected. You have to write everything. The header part should be called as summary. Then only it will be work. So summary, it should be A, and you don't need to close this summary. And whenever you want to display something, you have to put like this. So this is AIT chapters for 2021. That's it. And I'm refreshing it so this will be visible in front of you. So I think everyone is clear with detail tag and summary tag. This is an example of implementing a detail and summary tag. Yes, shall we move further? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now figure and figure caption. Figure and figure caption. These are the both need to be used parallelly. Now first what I'll do is that I will download some images from browser. Okay. So HTML5 logo. And I'm putting this because whenever we are working with figure, what we required is that we want this what we call as images for using this one. So we'll go for this one. So HTML is there. I just want to save this. So save image as. So I'm saving it in my D drive HTML5 folder, and I'm calling it as HTML5. And see the extension. It is PNG. It is PNG. Okay. So I'm saving this, and I'm moving towards my program. So we'll be talking about a figure tag. So I'm writing a new one. So before moving that, I need to uh, copy the skeleton and with new. I'm pasting over here, and I'm removing the things which I have written over there. So the skeleton is in front of this example of figure. I think the timing is moving out, and I need to go for another lecture. So we'll continue. I think we'll complete this in 2-3 minutes, and then we'll move for the another. So figure example is there, and whenever you want to display something, what you do is that regularly in body tag you use this one RMG tag, and you are using src is equal to double quote, and wherever I have written this image, put it this image, I'll moving towards that location. So on my D drive, I think so I have stored it in HTML. So on D drive, HTML5, and this image, okay, this image is HTML5.png. The extension of the file is .png. So I'm copying the part. I can copy it directly like this also, or I can go for right click and properties also, because here we'll be getting the path. This is HTML5 and it is present on this HTML5. So I'm copying this one. It is my location. And what is the name of file? It is HTML5. And what is the extension of my file? It is .png. So I'm copying everything because it will create a problem. So this is what is there. Now width, height, I'm not using. I'm saving this HTML5 as figure.html, and I'm saving this file. And when I run this file, now see it is located on left hand side. Now here, what I'll do is that I will move here and I'd write something like this, figure, figure, and I'm closing this at the bottom, figure, figure. Okay. Okay. Now this is my file. I'm refreshing it. Automatically the padding will be accepted. Okay. Now I want to give some name to my file. I want to give some name. So this is because figure, or we call it as image of HTML5 from what HG, and I refresh like this. But when I put this name within my figure, see this, I have written this after the figure, but it is not like that. I need to write this within a figure tag. So here I have pasted it, and when I refresh it, you'll see it will be moving towards the right hand side. I don't want to display this because it is occupying some space, and see it is moving like this. But what is expected? The image name should be displayed at the bottom of that image. So for that purpose, the another element that we are using, that we have to write this into fig caption, and this is double-ended text, so we need to close it as fig caption, and I'm saving it, I'm refreshing it. Automatically the name will be occupied immediately after the image. So that's it. It is image, what is called a figure, and figure caption. Yes. So we are using two elements over here. One is figure, and whatsoever images you want to display, you put your image into that. And for the purpose of giving a caption to your figure, whatever images you are using fig name and the name text content. And again, it is double-ended, so fig name should be starting and it should be ended. And you have to write everything within a figure element. So then only it will be visible as per the expectation from the designer. So is it clear to everybody now what we have covered? Yes. Yes. Is it clear to everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this how we have completed as much as we can the elements which are available as we call as the semantics of HTML5. Out of thing, this command is not there. We'll be demonstrating its example tomorrow. Nav and WBR, because these two are not used that much. Nav is used for the purpose of navigation. So that's it. The remaining part and the next upcoming, that is inline elements, that will be covered in tomorrow's lecture. Till then, if you have any doubt, you can speak with me now immediately. Okay. Any doubts? Yes, I will just 1 second. I want to take your attendance. किसको कुछ doubt है? No doubts? Okay. Till then, take care then. We'll meet tomorrow with continuing with this part of HTML5. Till then, take care and we'll meet tomorrow. Okay. Good day.